Hi, it's Gary Kay. We're here at ISE 2017. I'm in the meeting room, so that's why it's so dang quiet in here. Jason McGraw, VP of Expositions at InfoComm. Hey, how are you doing this afternoon?
Fantastic, Gary.
Now, you and I have known each other a long time, longer than we're going to tell them, but a long time. We
Yes.
both actually have technically grown up in this industry.
Sure.
Wow, huh?
Yeah.
Has this industry changed or what?
It's amazing.
I mean, this show is, I don't know, 15, 16 halls. I don't know the exact amount. But, it's interesting. InfoComm was the one and only commercial AV show, and you must be proud of this. Not only did you help start this show,
Yes.
but also it's a testament to where InfoComm brought the industry, and this has become sort of like the InfoComm of Europe in a way, because even though it is mostly focused on commercial AV, there's some residential, which we'll get into in a minute. It's also the EMEA version of InfoComm in a way.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
From the very beginnings, we used to have InfoComm Europe. We started out on our own in 2004 in Geneva, and then, moved from there and settled here in Amsterdam, and been very successful over the years partnering with CEDIA, and having that commercial residential combination here has been very successful. And I think really this show has become a global show in terms of not just serving, Central Europe, but all of Europe, Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa, and abroad. So it's been a really great focal point for the industry.
Now, it's interesting. In the early days of this show, I think there was a lot of talk of bringing North American companies over to here to sort of help kickstart the show. Now it's the opposite, right? Now we're seeing a lot of these companies that are new, maybe emerging here, that are coming over to InfoComm to attract a North American audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the advantages, if you will, of our global family of shows that InfoComm's involved in, and that we have hundreds of companies that are in the U.S. show that aren't here at ISE, and vice versa. So there's a lot of European brands, Asian brands that are here at ISE that maybe aren't exporting to the States yet. So there's a good opportunity to come here and see products and lines that you wouldn't see in the U.S. And then conversely, it's the same argument for why European attendees and those from other parts of the world should come to North America and see the hundreds of U.S. companies that we have that are emerging as well. So it's really the best of both worlds.
And I sort of see two levels of that, because if you're a manufacturer, and we're fortunate to have a lot of manufacturers that watch our podcast, and you are interested in penetrating the North American market, InfoComm.org is the place to start. InfoComm.org, INFOCOMM.org. Your show is every June, rotates between Vegas and Orlando. This year it's going to be in Orlando, and it's a great opportunity for you to find distribution and dealers in the in the commercial AV space in the U.S. and Canada, and really all of even North and South America. I think a lot of them come to InfoComm. So that's sort of one level, and then you have the other level where you are an integrator, and you may want to come over to our show in the United States, the InfoComm show in the U.S., just to see the difference in the markets, because the networking opportunity and sort of the culture and the way that the companies operate is different. You can always learn something through that networking experience.
Yeah, and also, our content and professional development program at our U.S. show is the largest that we do anywhere in the world. So in terms of not only learning about the technologies, but the applications and business practices, as you mentioned, it's a great opportunity to do that when you come to the show, not only to see the great exhibits, but to get that training opportunity as well.
That actually brings up a good point, because I saw Bill on my way down a little while ago, and I think he said you guys have something like 80 classes here at ISE this week. That's a huge driver in both shows, education.
Absolutely. I think at the U.S. show this year we'll have about 250 sessions over the week. So we have a pre-conference program 3 days before the show. We have our new seminar workshop package that runs Tuesday through Friday this year, which is extended. So you can get all of those seminar and workshop sessions for one price, $249 USD for members.
So wait a minute, I didn't realize you had this. So for $250, less than $250, you can actually come on Tuesday and sit in any class you want?
Correct.
But you still have to pre-register for the class, or you can drop in?
You can pick the classes, but it's still first come, first serve on those. Some of the computer labs and workshops, it's limited space. We also have separate facility tours off-site that are kind of like field trips, what we call AV Tech Tours. Our manufacturer training sessions provided from some of the manufacturers are now included in the seminar workshop package this year, as well. So the additional fees would be for if you're taking the in-depth 3-day pre-conference training programs like CTS prep, that type of thing. And then we have a new executive conference this year called TIDE, Technology, Innovation, Design, Experience, and that's really geared towards executive level attendees from end users, system integrators, design firms, and that'll be on Tuesday over at the Hyatt Hotel this year in Orlando.
And is that going to be sort of is it going to be more motivational oriented, or is it going to be specific to here's some practices and procedures that we've seen that have worked? Or is it going to be case study based, or what can we expect out of TIDE?
Yeah, it's a completely different concept and content that we've ever offered at an InfoComm event. It's really focusing on the solutions and outcomes and how storytelling, virtual reality, new technologies play a prominent role moving forward in the future of what our industry is about and how we deliver those outcomes for customers, and how AV as a platform can play an integral part in entertainment, education, retail, etc. And so we're really trying to look at it more where traditionally our training sessions have been about the technology or some of the applications. So we've got a stellar lineup of speakers. Matthew Lund, who's from Pixar, who was involved in some of the Toy Story films originally, talking about storytelling, how important that is, and using the technology to deliver your message. Noni Della Pina, who's a pioneer and visionary in the virtual reality space, a couple of the signature keynoters we have, and then we have a host of other technology executives that are going to be speaking at that program. So that's a dynamite new big focus for us this year, but it's really tied into an overall theme that we're focusing on. For part of our strategic plan for InfoComm is really trying to change the conversation in the industry towards the customer experience and the solutions and outcomes and the ROI leveraging AV, and both from the integrator, how they can take advantage of that and how they position their solutions to the customers, and then from the end user perspective, how they can explore the technology and say, gee, I didn't know I could do that with this. This will help me teach, or this will help me entertain, this will help me to inform, this will help me sell more products for my customers. So that's really somewhat of a shift, and we're going to have that kind of woven throughout what we're doing, not only with this TIDE program, with our seminar workshop package this year, more case study oriented sessions, and then on the show floor we're creating one large stage area called Center Stage. And it'll be a forum for 20-minute sessions throughout all 3 days of the show, really doing this thought leadership, talking about how do you create exceptional experiences with audiovisual.
So even some of this is new to me, and I think that's going to be a phenomenal experience. So that's yet another reason that even if you're from the EMEA region, Asia, U.S., Europe, wherever you're from, there's a reason to come to InfoComm and the reason to look at InfoComm. So for me, primary to that is education. So the fact that you have this all-day Tuesday thing is a big deal. I think it's sad for people who come to shows and only go to the trade show. No offense to you, since you're in the trade show business, but you have to take advantage of the education, right. And that's a key part. And of course, that's been my connection to InfoComm for years. Congratulations on everything. I wish you best of luck. We'll be there, of course. We'll be covering the show live like we always do. We always have great support from you and your team does a great job, and you always seem to one-up yourself, so we're encouraged by that. And now, one little thing. I know you and Mike Blackman are great friends.
Sure.
However, tell me the truth. There's got to be a little bit of rivalry between you guys because you're both you want to grow, and you're both got to be a little bit competitive. Yes. But how's that work out?
Oh, well, it's really great. I think you have two of the, top shows in the world. Yeah. Clearly ISE has grown exponentially in the last several years, and we applaud that. I think it speaks very strongly of how great the industry is and how successful it is. We do, wager each other every year, who's going to grow faster. But I think clearly, ISE has taken on a different level, and the combination of not only the region, the residential commercial mix has been very successful over here. I think in our space, we've focused, primarily on the commercial market in North America, and the vast majority of our attendance at the show is really from the U.S. and North America. But we do also get, dealers from around the world, from 100 countries that also come every year. So I think we look at it as it's fantastic to be involved in and having these two great events, and the other shows that we have in China and South America and Australia and Russia and Dubai and around the world, India. So we're all about supporting the industry globally, and these shows give us the platform to do that.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, you're all raising each other. It's a good show of the industry, and what is comfortable to me about what's going on right now in the industry, it is clear that we are clear of the recession and we're going to move in the right direction. The show attendance here has not been made official yet, and we don't really know what the numbers are, but there's no question it's going to be close to 70,000. He's going to beat his record from last year, and I would venture to guess you're going to beat your record of all-time attendance for InfoComm in Orlando. I'm sure you don't want to venture a guess, and you like to keep that stuff close to the vest. But we know it's going to be a great show. It's going to be the best show, best InfoComm ever. And it's interesting. We say that every year, but you do one-up yourself every year. And I think with the addition of Tide and the additional educational offerings and that $250 package, remember that $250 gets you all the education Tuesday through Friday. Everyone, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and thanks, Jason, for coming up here and be willing to do this. Check out InfoComm at infocom.org.